almost that time of year where like I leave for work and I put on my winter jacket. Perfect. As far as I know, Trevor won't be here. Yeah. No, Trevor, he enjoys playing with us all, but now that things are opening up, he's very much like a concert type of person, so he'd rather not let people down by missing out on games because the concerts are recovering. So. But he did express how much fun he's had, so. Maybe I debated with giving him either if he could make today's session, then I would give him an epic. That scene, I don't want to give him one off stage, so I think maybe Tebby will go off to research the Star Steel, the Star Metal, and then that way, you know, if shit hits the fan and everything closes down again and he wants to rejoin, then, you know, his character's still viable. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of encouraged. I've got friends out in British Columbia because they've already released some mandates, and a buddy of mine who's very much, you know, put on your mask before I punch you in the face sort of person. He's taking public transit and like 95% of the people are still wearing masks. Posted that, you know, we're still requiring masks for people that enter the building, but I mean, we're an essential service, so. Yeah. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe in 2 weeks, maybe things won't spike. Hopefully the wind does not block out power. So as a quick recap, I guess I should probably let me start the screen. Hey, there we go. I've been playing around with GIMP and stuff to make like different backgrounds. So
yeah, that one's cool.
I'm really happy with how this came out because like it was a completely separate image of Cthulhu that I had to like kind of make transparent and ghostly, and
yeah, you did a good job.
So YouTube videos for the win. Last time we played, you guys took part in the raid of the city of Balbanon. It's a port city on the part of the Southern Kingdoms. I think. Check my map. On the coast of Kush. Met up with a bunch of other pirates there, including the leader of the raid, a guy named Drogatha. Your nemesis, Captain Deimos, was already inside the city. He was the inside man, posing as a traitor to get in, and then at the time was right, open the gates. Your group and some others went around to the exterior, freed some slaves, equipped them with some weapons, and then hit the town. Kind of a running battle through the streets, hitting the barracks. Groups splintering off to go take the palace. You guys headed to the warehouse district, where you found Captain Deimos inside. But more importantly, just as you got to the docks of the warehouse district, you saw the sorcerer Maledict Mare using his sorcery to propel his boat away from the city at a very, very fast speed. While you were dealing with Deimos, defeating him rather handedly, a little bit of an explosion in the warehouse, some people took a little bit of singe damage. It was all kinds of chaotic. The big thing that some of you noticed, though, during this raid, is there was this greenish fog cloud that seemed to seep over the city, and periodically you saw individuals with this kind of like green glint to their eyes that were just overtaken with bloodlust. And I believe just either Tebin or Rory, or maybe Zahibi, realized that somehow this cloud was absorbing the souls of those who died during this raid. Undoubtedly, Maledict Mare is harnessing them for something nefarious.
Yeah, I believe we had a little head session there, discussed it amongst ourselves, and that was the conclusion.
But in the wee hours of the morning, most of the fighting has kind of died down. There's still sporadic fighting here and there. There's flames spreading throughout the city. You guys have a chance to regroup and figure out what you would like to do.
Is everyone all right? Everyone in one piece?
More or less.
Yeah, I think there's some permanent wounds, but I don't think.
Now that I'm not on fire, I'm fine.
Everyone got treated? We got everything bandaged up? Or do we need to do that first?
A bit of mud will do nicely.
I mean, I only took some vigor damage, so I'm fine.
Decent. Same.
So no untreated ones?
No, I
Have to look at that.
I think Ragnar took a wound.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I did.
All right, so I can patch.
The explosion / scuffle with Demos.
Well, let's get him patched up.
We gotta pick you up a new shield from the wreckage somewhere.
Yeah, I need to make a stop,
Basically,
just maybe by the barracks or something for a shield.
yeah, it's on our way to looting.
I think Tebia took a wound as well. He got gutted by a fishman.
Yeah. All right, so I'll stitch Ragnar up here. I'll do a nice little healing roll.
Okay, perfect.
It's mainly this burn here, right on the, my face.
Well, as they always say, chicks dig the scar, right?
I'll tell a story.
That's
Oh,
a solid roll.
that's a great rule to start things off with.
Momentum.
Perfect. All right. So. All right. So Zach, you can change your little skull until it becomes an asterisk. So yeah, Ragnar's got some scrapes and stuff, but he's got like a fair sized burn, kind of like down the side of his neck, the side that was kind of facing the explosion.
The part that was on fire.
The part that was on fire.
So that's a little bit of fire. You'll be okay.
I mean, considering the amount of
Okay.
burning liquids that get tossed around, I'm surprised this is the first time you guys have actually had a fire injury.
Yeah,
That's true.
just claim that I've been touched by Surtur.
Mm.
Oh yeah, there's always ways you can spin that story.
Absolutely.
I wonder what the chances are that we could find some of Davos's crew. Did we kill them all, or they all run off?
You killed some of them, but I mean, he had a fair sized ship, so he's probably got other crew someplace here in the city.
Probably looting.
Yeah, it has pretty much at this point degraded into, well, not degraded, but become more of a free for all looting spree as opposed to a more concentrated raid. Picking off people here and there who put up resistance, but other than that, it's every crew for itself sort of thing at this point.
Which part of town are we in?
You guys would be in the north side, just north of the barracks.
Right, but is this like a wealthy neighborhood, or
No,
I don't remember.
it's a neighborhood, but it's not a wealthy neighborhood per se. The wealthier neighborhoods are down towards the palace, so kind of down towards your southeast.
And did all the barrels in here full of Argosian fire blow up?
Yes.
Damn shame.
Like the warehouse is still burning.
Well, gentlemen, do you want to start looting here, or do you think we should make our way towards the palace?
Well, I'm thinking the getting's probably better as we get closer to the palace, anyways.
Alternatively, we could head to the warehouses and see if we could find some useful cargo there. But
Well, it's not like we're bringing the ship back into the city after the damage of the explosion.
well, there's
Yeah.
a whole other dock right there.
Yeah. But the dock down by the warehouses is the one that got exploded.
Oh, right. Didn't we come in north?
No, they shipped a sail into the harbor where the warehouses were. That was the exploding. You
I
guys,
thought we did it up here.
no.
I had a nice front row seat from the watchtower.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure the Pirate King will be quite pleased with our performance. We managed the barracks, we managed the watchtower, even got the damn door open.
Aye.
But we might as well get to getting paid, I suppose.
Aye, yeah. And the rest of the crew, whoever's left.
All right, we're going to start looting, and we'll keep our eyes open to see if we can
How many do you
note
get?
any of Davos's crew. If I don't know how we'd ever know that, but
Well, you never know. They might wear his colors.
Well, we're wearing special armbands, aren't we?
Yeah, everybody took part in the raid has like a yellow armband so that you know not to kill those people. I mean, it doesn't mean that, debts weren't settled and stuff, but...
well, we settled one.
Yep. All right. So you guys start to make your way out through the city. Are you headed to any place in particular, or?
I'm thinking where coin is more important than cargo, right?
Aye.
So we'll head towards like palace nobility area.
As we're going through like the streets, Ragnar's just gonna kind of be like scanning any of the bodies along the way, looking for maybe what happened to Silvio. Because he just took off in his bloodlust. Like, I don't know where he might have gotten to.
Yeah. You do eventually find Silvio. He basically in his state he wasn't able to defend himself and fell to blades and arrows.
Just quit under as we pass by, just under my breath. I'll say like a little Nordheim, like guide him in whatever afterlife he believed in, and keep going. Died in battle makes me proud.
All right. And I will get... I think Clytius has the highest observation, so Clytius can give me an observation check.
Observation, you say?
Observation.
All right. Lucky sevens.
So yeah, as you're making your way through, there are a lot of dead individuals as you're kind of picking your way through the streets. But periodically, you do spot people that look familiar amongst the dead. Definitely, some members of Deimos's crew were not with him in the warehouse. As you kind of pick your way through, you're like, oh yeah. Oh, that's one of the assholes that was on board the ship when they took us down below and tried to fry us alive. Oh yeah, that guy too. And it looks like a fair number of them have been torn apart, as opposed to like cutlassed or daggered or arrowed. A fair number of them have literally been torn apart.
That's not good.
Any idea what would cause something like this?
You do have momentum if you have any questions.
So I'm asking Rory. He knows stuff.
Okay. So we're... Yep, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying aye.
Yeah. So yeah, where you kind of bend down to examine these bodies. They look like they've been torn apart by something with a fair amount of strength, and fairly long claws. Probably you remember when you're at the warehouse, there were some of these like humanoid fish creatures. You would imagine that something like that could make these sort of wounds. And these wounds are very fresh. Probably happened within the last half hour or so.
Gotcha. So there's more fishmen on the loose.
Mhm. Yeah, seems like it. Seems like it. Can I spend one momentum to, or did we do that already? That's the information we got.
That was the information you got for the momentum.
Okay.
But to continue making your way, and I mean, you're picking up things here and there, like a couple of coins from this guy. You managed to replenish, Ragnar manages to replenish his shield off of a dead body, that sort of thing.
Excellent.
Opportunistic thieving.
Yeah.
It's my favorite kind.
The life of piracy.
Vigor recharge.
Yes, your vigor gets a chance to recharge.
Yay.
I think I reset everybody's fortune back to 3, but if not, your fortune resets as well.
All right, Claudius, you're the expert. Let's find what we can find, shall we?
The looter himself.
Give me a observation check there, Gun, your ransack talent.
I'll assist if I can.
Sure.
Sharp senses reroll.
Oh, are we observing again? Sorry.
Yep. Your
Okay.
your ransack talent.
Oh, yes, excellent. Reroll the 50. Oh,
So 2 total, I
2.
think.
Yeah.
yep.
Perfect. Right. So why don't you roll me 2d20?
18 total. Or 15 and 3 individually.
As you're kind of picking your way through, with Clytius's keen eye for loot, you do pick up basically assorted valuables worth 8 gold.
Excellent.
And you find a very well-made short sword, whose blade comes to a very, very sharp point.
Do we know what the traits are on that weapon?
It looks like it would pierce armor very easily. So basically, it's a standard short sword, but it also has piercing 1.
Sweet. Anybody need a sword?
Nope.
I'm all right for now.
I'm good.
Well, I'll trade it for my
Back up.
short sword.
There you go.
It's probably
I
worth
mean, if nobody wants it.
Oh, you go.
Fine by me.
Piercing 1, Chris?
Yeah, piercing 1.
I just updated mine in my sheet.
Okay, perfect. And as you're making your way, through the ruins of this town, kind of passing through, literally dozens upon dozens of dead bodies, and there's still, you can hear fighting off in the distance, and yells and shouting, and occasionally you meet, other groups of pirates who are looting, who basically just, give you the, keep moving along look, kind of like, this is ours to loot, keep on going. And you kind of, on your way to the palace, you come kind of through the main temple district.
Temples have gold.
Temples generally have gold.
It's probably quite a bit of it.
Um, and you do notice one of the, basically there's like an area, like a square, the fountain in the middle. There's a temple to Mitra, and then a couple of outbuildings. And there are some of those fish people basically like throwing their weight against the door of the temple.
Ooh, must be good stuff in there.
Probably tasty, tasty civilians.
Ragnar, Claudius, would you like to persuade these individuals to leave that temple alone?
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you like me to start a fish fry first?
Let's try not to set a temple on fire, shall we?
I think it's stone.
It is mostly stone.
There, no worries.
Use your best judgment.
I'll aim for the back one.
Okay. So yeah, it looks like there's about a dozen or so of them. Some of them, the vast majority of them are like smaller, but there's 2 that are larger and more muscular.
So which 2 are those?
So that one and that one.
Okay, those 2.
Are these squads?
The 2 that are larger. Yeah, actually, I'll do it this way.
I don't think they know where they are. They're not in the deep at all.
The 2 larger ones are individual. The other 2 are groups.
Dwellers in the shadow. Or shallow. Yeah, that's it.
There we go. All right. So you guys are up.
Go get them, boys.
What do we have for ranged weaponry?
Give Rory a chance to make some fire happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie.
Claudius is not ranged weaponry.
True.
I don't think any of you guys are really ranged weaponry except for maybe Burke.
That's about it. Yep.
All right, just hang on here. I'll get at my exploding thing charts. Okay. It's a lot faster once you figure out how to use the bookmarks.
Yes.
Alrighty, so I'm going to use a level 4,
Oof.
which is 4 dice of damage, area, fearsome, and incendiary 3. Hopefully, I'm going to aim for one of the bigger ones because it's just an easier target.
Okay.
Difficulty what?
Difficulty is 2 because they're close range. If you move into the zone they're in, it's difficulty 1.
Oh, okay. So if I move up a little bit,
Yep, like on like the other side of the fountain.
yeah, cover
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
Okay, bombs away. I'm going to use the 2 momentum we have.
Okay.
Hopefully, I will generate a bunch more.
Release the bomb de terre.
Yeah, well, at least it's not fetch a lavage.
Mhm.
Although that would have certain comedic aspects, just because Sorcerer's Hole just opens up and a cow falls on them.
As far as I know, our witch doesn't have any elemental cow powers.
Yeah, she hasn't really kind of shown that.
Oof.
Oh wow.
As fun as that would be at parties.
Dun 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 dun.
That's gross.
That's what I call filling up the momentum pool.
Mm.
So you have 1 additional momentum on top of filling the pool.
Sweet. Well, I'll spend that on extra damage then.
Okay.
Actually, why don't I spend 2 on extra damage?
Okay.
Oh, we're all gonna die.
Because Clytius is once he gets into combat, he's a momentum generating machine.
That's the plan. Gotta spend money to make money.
All right, well, 4 dice for damage.
If Ragnar's fighting with his team, he can also generate a decent amount.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 5 damage.
Mm-hmm.
3 effects, though.
3 effects though. And this had, what did it have? It had area and
Incendiary 3, I think.
Yeah, Incendiary 3 and Fearsome.
so it doesn't hit other people, just him. All right, so he's going to take 3 mental damage, 5 physical damage, and then he's going to be on fire for like at least the next 3 turns.
But it has area, so.
Oh, it does have area.
Oh yes, it has area. It has Fearsome. It has Incendiary 3.
Isn't Mitra the fire god for this setting?
It would be apropos.
Mitra is more the Jesus analog, kind of, sort
No,
of.
okay.
But yeah, definitely some fire god elements as well. Won't let me take my tokens off. All right.
So fine, how do you do?
I think I may.
What was that, Jeff?
I think I may have got their attention.
Okay, and then you hit 3 additional targets. So that's going to be...
This is like the flaming version of chunky salsa.
Yeah. So that guy catches on fire and he kind of flails around. He kind of stumbles into the smaller ones and they just go up like candles. Basically...
It must be like oily.
So, I mean, in Conan Exiles, you can press fish in order to make oil, which you burn in your furnace. So yeah, 3 of them just like ignite and stumble around. One of them falls into the fountain. But yeah, it basically wounds him and kills 3 of the minions.
Excellent.
All right, that is everybody but Rory.
I've done my part.
Yeah.
Greg Doc, Gladius?
Yeah. All right. This is a batch of them here. This big one.
No, the big ones are individuals.
Oh, okay. I'll cut into some of the smaller ones then.
Okay.
At least the fire gives us good light to see them.
Yeah. And you notice as they're like dying, they let out this horrible kind of like, it sounds partway between a human scream and a frog croaking.
Well, that's an apropos use of terms.
Gotcha.
Yuck.
I'll spend one to get two.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, that's all good stuff.
That will give you 3 momentum.
Okay. 3 puts us. How much overflow?
1.
Okay, I'll put it into damage. Reroll the 2 blanks. Okay, so that's 9, 11. I guess I didn't spend any for Blood on Steel, so that's fine. We'll maybe do the next one. Okay, and I'll spend. Is it 2 to swing again?
Yes, unless you're using a different weapon.
Okay.
So you could like drop 2 of them, like one through the arm, the other one like, kind of like hook the leg and slice it off. They both fall dead, and you slightly wound a third.
Nice. And my difficulty is 1 higher, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that one's still good.
1 more momentum.
I'll leave that one in. 2 out of that group, so how many's left?
There's 2 fresh and 1 slightly bruised.
Alright, I'll spend 1 for Blood on Steel.
Okay.
And I'll reroll those 3 blanks. Nice. So that is 6 and 6 is 12 more.
12 more. So 8. So there's 1 wounded guy left.
Yeah. That's me done.
Okay.
I got a plan, Ragnar.
Oh.
Follow me.
You heard him, man.
I'm
Follow the
going
cap.
to assist Ragnar and his crew and see what Wise Veteran does with a elite squad. Just because
Ooh.
I think it'll be epic.
Worth the try.
We're charging then.
Okay.
I'd like to get all of us in somewhere down like here against this dweller.
Here's my assist roll.
Ooh.
You have right. Well, I will re-roll the 1 failure. So it's going to be 1. So 5 successes from your gang.
Nice.
One for me is 6.
It's difficulty 1.
Yes.
I might as well use some momentum here, right?
Well, there's 6 in the pool, so.
Use 3.
Okay.
I want this to hit hard.
So that is going to generate 9 momentum total.
You can re-roll the 19 if you want. I
Yep.
don't think he needs it, but
I might as well.
So 10 momentum. So,
Asking about.
so after you fill the pool, there is 7 left.
We will put it all into damage.
Ouch.
I thought that'd work.
Yeah.
It may tell you there's not enough momentum in the pool to add 7 to damage, so we'll just have to remember to add 1 more damage.
Forget, does putting just in the damage roller, putting in the momentum area, does that actually work, or do we do that after?
No, put it into the momentum area. Just put in 6 because it'll empty out the pool, and then we'll refresh the pool and then add 1 to your damage.
Ow.
That's fine. That's lots.
I'm not even going to re-roll any of those. I'm just gonna spend another momentum for Blood on Steel.
Right. So 5 effects, so that's 15 with the blood and steel, 16, 17 damage. He does have a little bit of armor. So that's going to mean that he only takes 14 damage. Which is more than enough to kill him.
The battle axe is also vicious 1 and intense.
Yeah. So that's like 3 wounds on him.
Yep.
Oh, cleaved in half.
Yeah, as the group kind of swarms him, like your group is basically kind of drawing his attention. They kind of like pick here, like a little swipe there, and then just when his like back is open, you basically just drive that battle axe down, like when you're cutting the breast off a chicken, you just kind of cut down the bone and just like slice the entire back off of him.
Oh, just like cracking open the lobster, eh?
Filet o fish.
Anything else?
That's it for this turn.
Okay.
Don't they need a morale check or something?
They're not quite smart enough to do morale.
Ragnar, you could spend 2 and just do it again, right?
Yeah, let's do that.
Except he can't close with anybody.
All right.
Oh, he's still. Oh, okay, yeah, he's not within reach.
He's not within reach of anybody.
Maybe next time.
And you can only move once. That's right.
Yeah. All right. So this guy that's up here, he's basically going to form up into a mob, and then he's going to try to attack Clytius.
Are they gonna hug with the fire?
He's not actually on fire, but it won't let me take the token off.
Oh, okay. That's strange.
It's because for some reason I had the tokens linked, so when I marked one guy, I marked both of them.
Oh.
Yeah, default's linked for some reason.
Yeah, I think there's a way to fix that. I just forgot to.
Oh, no worries.
But he's going to attack with his strange coral knife. What's the reach on your weapon?
2.
Okay, so his difficulty is 2. Nice.
Well, yeah.
His buddy does not help though. But he takes this strange sharp piece of coral. Ooh, jabs it deep into your torso, piercing 3. Oh, sorry, piercing 6.
Okay. That beats my 4, I guess.
So that's 5 to the torso.
Okay.
Not quite enough
And,
for a wound because you're super tough.
On a lesser man, that would be a wound.
But yeah, this strange sharp piece of coral he has just slips through your breathing armor like it's nothing.
Mm-hmm. Do I get the sense that it's at all different in any way than the other coral knives that we've picked up?
No.
Okay,
Yeah, the
we
other
just
ones were
got
pretty
lucky.
sharp too. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we've picked up a couple of those now.
This guy, this little group here, they are going to turn their attention to Ragnar and his crew.
Stand strong, men.
And they just let out this this hideous croaking sound.
Needy.
Sounds like a threat to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not a successful one though.
Ooh.
Oh. That is everybody on my side.
I'll make your lives a little easier, boys. Lead this one. So the free momentum is the bonus momentum at the bottom.
Yes.
Heed my words. See if we can stun some of these guys. We got a full pool, eh?
Yes.
We're max 5 dice regardless, right?
Yep.
That didn't roll the other 3.
Is it bonus dice or is it?
Oh, I put it bonus momentum. It's bonus dice, so from strong arm tactics and the captain's final.
Yeah, gotcha. So that's 1, 2, 3, 6 successes.
I'll re-roll the 18.
Okay.
Nope.
Nope. And I figured out why. See where it says the +8 momentum. I figured
Yeah,
out
it
that.
came out with momentum. Yeah.
Yeah, but I figured out why it miscalculated because we had the same thing happen in your game when I hit the lich. I think it was. It calculates that bonus momentum on each die that you roll.
Oh, I get you.
So.
So 6 successes,
Yep.
which
So
is plenty.
Okay.
We'll spend. That's all overflow too, right?
it is.
Okay. Let's spend 2 to disarm.
Which guy were you targeting? The big guy?
Yeah. 2 to disarm. That leaves me 4, right?
What's the weather like?
Yep.
And then I'll spend 4 for 2 secondary targets.
Okay.
So they take half the damage, right? Half
Yep.
the damage. And just standard damage, I think. Right?
Yep.
And that would be piercing 4.
Okay. Piercing 4 gets to his courage.
So 6 damage and 3 to the other 2. Stun as well. So stun.
Okay.
Because it's area.
Is it area and then you did extra attacks as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I spent the momentum, so.
All right. So basically the 2 minions that were with the big guy, Just like lose their minds in fear, start running away. You know, Clytius can hack them down as they run, sort of thing. They are essentially out of the fight from the area damage. And two.
Excellent.
And the other ones would do the same because area automatically it's. Yeah, I've done a lot of looking on the area. So area automatically hits the two guys that were in his mob because
They're within reach, yeah.
they're within reach, and then your area effect hits the other mob as well. So you don't even have to spend the momentum for the extra. Like there's no extra people to hit.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that when I spent it, so. Because I don't know how many effects I could have rolled.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to spend it till after you roll. Like that's the thing with momentum is you don't have to spend it till after you see what you need to spend because Modifius doesn't like people spending resources needlessly.
Oh, we'll just throw it on damage then.
Yeah. So they're even more frightened and running.
Well, there's still a big guy there.
Yeah. So that'd be another 2 damage on him.
4.
Another 4 damage on him. All right. So it'd be 10 damage. That is actually enough to cause him to run in fear as well. So after the initial onslaught of the firebomb, which really kind of set the tone for this particular encounter, there's a bunch of chaos. You know, you see one of them stab Clytius, and you kind of wince for a moment, and he's like, "I'm okay, thumbs up." And then they start to like break and spread, and you guys can like hack them down, shoot them as they flee, all that sort of stuff.
Berkey, 10 points for everyone you hit in the back of the head.
Okay, how many points for a free day off?
Captain, I'd say 50.
Okay.
Into the captain, he gets a day off at 50.
So you guys can make very short work of them as they kind of try to disperse. You can let them run if you like, but essentially they are out of the combat.
Oh, we're definitely cutting them down.
Yep.
Okay.
No reason to let
Stabby
them go.
practicing. Stabby.
Well, let's put this fire out and find out who's stuck in this building, I guess.
Ooh. Maybe they've got lots of gold.
Well, remember, it is a temple to Mitra. So let's not steal any artifacts.
And from inside, you hear a voice. Like, what's going on out there?
You're safe.
Yeah, what he said.
Give me a persuasion check there, Clytius.
Okay.
No, it's just.
They're probably not going to believe me if he is telling the truth.
Oh,
Meh.
it should have been an assist. Either way.
They might believe.
So he seems to. There's a pause. He's like, nothing here for pirates. Killed enough people. Be on your way.
Now, sir, do you have a name? What's your name in there, sir?
It's like you're. Need to pull up my name table.
Now, Rory, assuming he doesn't want to open the door, I assume you could smoke him out, yeah?
Oh, aye. Shouldn't be a problem.
Indale.
And
I don't think we need to, Captain.
now, I'm going to give you 2 options. You can either open this door, or I could light your building on fire. Now, I prefer not to burn down a temple or a portion thereof, but either way, I'm getting through this door. You understand me? I would like to intimidate him.
Give it a try. The difficulty is 4.
I am very good at this.
Unless you have to speak Kushite.
I don't, but I'm going to pick up a talent that's going to fix that. Okay, so not bonus momentum, bonus d20s, right?
Yep.
And I am definitely intimidating. Difficulty's 4. We got a lot. I can't stay on 5 anyway.
Whoa, was that me or?
Reroll 20. There you go. Open the fucking door.
So as a kind of opens the door kind of carefully, you see this this bent, dark-skinned gentleman. He's 70 if he's a day. It's like, you come to finally kill me just like you killed the others?
We're not here to kill anyone. We're just here to get our prize and move along. By the way, you're welcome. We just saved your life from a bunch of these fish people. You see that little cinder burn in the fountain?
Mitra
Oh,
would protect me.
There's a few dead ones on the ground.
I think there'd be the stink of fish in the air too.
There's nothing left. Previous raiders and the devil spawn wizard took everything.
Wizard, you say?
Ah.
What do you mean, wizard?
Came with your group just before the raids.
You telling me that there was a raid before the raid?
He wasn't with us.
The wizard came. His creatures slaughtered many.
Well, tell me all about it. I'm very curious.
These creatures had these jars of some sort of hellspawn smoke. He kind of gestures at the green cloud that's still kind of hovering over the city. Whatever foul sorcery performed, the smoke poured from those jars and created this.
Interesting. Rory, does that make any sense to you? Or Zabibi?
Zabibi could have been a spell that was prepared and then released.
Could I roll sorcery to divine that?
You sure can.
Do we have any momentum?
Positive.
All right. What difficulty, Chris?
This would be difficulty 3.
Well, the captain and Rory and them are all discussing that. Ragnar and his men are just going to kind of set up a perimeter.
Okay.
I'll use 3 momentum, I guess.
Nice. So yes, you do know. I mean, you're an alchemist by trade, not a sorcerer. But you do know that you've read it's possible to prepare a spell because some spells are very, very taxing to cast. So it's possible to kind of cast them ahead of time when it's a little bit safer and then store them to be released upon the completion of like the final step. So basically kind of holding it, having it bound to an object. You've heard it's possible to bind a spell to a person as well with like ritual scarring or ritual tattooing, but generally speaking, it's easier to bind it to an object and then you complete the ritual and release it from the object.
Cool. I have to remember that.
It's like whatever foul sorcery that sorcerer is up to. Before I made my way back here to the temple, before I fled for my life, I heard him calling to the black gods of Rylai, promising the souls to those that dwell beyond.
That particular sorcerer has tried to claim our souls in the past. See, we're on a bit of a mission to hunt him down. That's why we're here.
He is not here.
No,
No.
he's already skipped town.
What did he take from you?
Statuary, small ivory idols. Nothing of import to him, but of material value, I'm certain.
Well, unless he's got some need for something like that. It seems strange he'd target you.
Perhaps he plans to deface the idols of Mitra to power his rituals.
Could be a thing.
So he only took idols, religious symbols.
Yes.
Huh. Well, first of all, make yourself comfortable. Have a seat. You're old as dirt. You're going to fall over. We're not here to hurt you, I promise. But I do have one last question for you.
Careful, man. There's infected
The
coming.
treasury, where would that be?
We have no treasury. This is a church of Mitra.
Right, I've been going to churches to Mitra a very, very long time, most of my life, really. Always seems there's a collection plate that comes around.
You can make a society test.
Oh, I do have society. What's the
Yeah, no worries.
difficulty?
Difficulty for this would only be like 1.
I'll spend a couple momentum.
Clytius is just gonna stand near the old man, just quietly.
Right?
Figured I'd get some
Carrying
back.
around.
From your understanding, the churches of Mitra are they're not wealthy. They genuinely pass on their collections to help others. Most of them have taken a vow of poverty. I mean, they do spend money for for idols and fixings for the church because that's just part of religion.
But they're not going to be like the Vatican with
It
a
is
treasure
rampant.
vault.
No, they are not.
Well, I wonder which temple would be the money hoarders.
Probably if you could find a temple to Istar. But this far down south in Kush, it's really hard to say. Their religions are a little bit more esoteric.
Well, I did have an overflow, so
Yep.
but this is a test about.
Where it too
Well, it's a
will take
society
over.
test, so
If you're really
could I gain information on which local temples might have a bunch of money? To his knowledge, anyway.
Yeah, as far as I mean, there wouldn't be money per se in a lot of these. Most of what you would find would be things like statuary or, depending on what religions are actually followed here, it might be things like perfumes, oils, fine wines, that sort of thing. You're not going to find a lot of coin in a temple. You'll find wealth, but not coin.
I'm okay with wealth. I just don't want to take. Like we
Yeah.
know gods exist because we've seen it. So
And that's very much the other side of the coin, is the fact that stealing from a temple is a good way to get the eyes of the gods upon you. Whether you put any stock in that or not is another thing, but it is a very good way to get the eyes of the gods upon you.
I think we should move on, Captain.
I agree. Rory, you want to make sure this man's patched up if he's got any injuries?
Aye, I'll have a look.
Ragnar, since you and your crew are kind of setting up a perimeter and kind of keeping an eye open, and give me an observation test.
Okie dokie. I am great at these. I'm not great at these.
Berkey's good at it.
Just difficulty 1?
Yes, difficulty 1. Because it is nighttime.
Huh? Ragnar's eyes are full of the blood of his enemies. That a little crusty to see through.
Right. So Ragnar, as you're kind of like, keeping your eyes open, watching out for any more of those fish things, you see kind of off in the horizon, like there's this kind of greenish blue fog that's slowly starting to leave the city. It's slowly starting to disperse. Kind of off on the horizon, like you're kind of like looking out towards the harbor, and like off in the distance, you see this bright flash of green lightning and roiling clouds, like basically off at the horizon line. You just see the flash in the darkness. Kind of superimposed over that darkness, you see this writhing, roiling and massive tentacles, and you take 8 resolve damage.
Oh.
All right, give him 4 cover.
Ooh, it'll soon be time for counseling.
Which is 4. 5.
And do you have any courage soak of your own?
Not that I know of.
So you only take 3 resolves. So you see this thing just brightly, just like as the lightning flashes, almost like superimposed over the roiling clouds on the horizon. And you're like, nope. And then you look again. The lightning is still flashing out there, but that thing is gone.
Uh-huh.
Ragnar really believes in Tebian stories now.
Yeah, you're starting to think maybe there's something to Tebian stories.
That's probably why I have the tabby, and he's just like, no, I'm not going back on that fucking.
Yeah, I'm not setting foot on the ocean again. Nope.
Yeah, Captain,
Yeah.
we really need to move.
Problem?
Huh? You see out there on the horizon? Well,
Yeah.
you see how all the sky is still a little greenish.
Well, the air is green here. I think everything's green.
Way out there was a green flash of lightning. And, see, there was this silhouette of something massive out there.
Right? You sure he's all right?
Massive beast.
Oh, I'm sure he's all right. But if I had to make a guess,
I'd say that it's probably the case of the spell was going, and he's perhaps the old god is now coming to collect his bounty.
And Dolly is basically is starting to pray, kind of quietly to himself under his breath. Those of you that are like near him, he is saying a prayer to Mitra, but inside there is, it's he seems to be repeating, and you catch words here and there because he's praying in his native language, but you do catch the words, or Riley, Mitra protect us, Black Islands. And he seems to be saying this like, Mitra protect us from the Riley and the Black Islands, kind of over and over, like a mantra to himself.
Does anyone know what the hell's going on?
We're in a lot of trouble if we stay here.
While he's praying, Chris, Clytius is gonna just put a hand over his medallion and speak a prayer of his own.
You see, Zahibi has this kind of like a combination look of admiration and horror on her face.
What just happened, Zabibi?
He's raising the Black Islands.
And those are...
They're the gateway to Riley, the gateway to those that dwell beneath.
That's bad.
He had ancient books that describe these islands, but long since lost, swallowed in the cataclysm that destroyed Atlantis. Sorcery like that's not possible. Raising the islands from the depths.
Well, clearly it seems to be.
Well, maybe it was something he found up in the lost island that we couldn't find.
Maybe. I mean, the sacrifice of hundreds of souls here give him untold power.
All right, let's talk hypothetical for a second. Assuming that it's even possible for someone to bring islands out of the depths. And he's trying to talk to Rayleigh, who's apparently a bad god, right?
The city.
Rayleigh's a city.
I bet.
On an island that was under the water.
The city that was ancient when Atlantis was founded.
Right. And he's doing this why?
To appease his god?
To what end? To cause more death and destruction? To
The dark gods, the ones that live in the void, in the beyond time and space. They are not remotely human. Awakening even one of them would be a disaster.
right. So again, hypothetical. How long would it take him to awaken one of these things, or did he just do it?
We're all still standing here. I don't think he's succeeded yet.
All right. Last question. Do you happen to know where this city is?
Sunk beneath the waters of the Western Ocean, when Atlantis was swallowed.
The Western Ocean's a very large place.
Yeah. And then she'll kind of look towards the horizon where like this roiling cloud of green lightning and everything is. She's like, probably there.
Sounds about right.
Who's playing?
All right, Clytius, we're still not going back to our boat empty-handed. Let's fill the coffers. And apparently we got to go save the world.
Great.
Captain, we might need backup.
Well,
Oh my
probably
God,
right.
Anita.
But let's make sure we get paid before before our friends here at Armbands decide to take all the good loot for themselves. We still need to have a crew.
Yeah, we can swing by the palace on the way to the boat.
Claudius, you got the best eye for loot. We'll follow you.
Right.
So you guys are making your way to the palace?
As everybody turns to leave, Clytius is going to turn back to the old man and slide a gold into his hand. Protect people.
And very, very quietly and heavily accented, Argosian, he'll say, protect yours.
Do what I can.
And so as you make your way through the city, you do start to encounter more and more groups of pirates. It seems like everybody is kind of converging on the palace. And there was like 400 or 500 pirates here, all told. Between the ones that came on the raid and the slaves who have kind of joined up the released slaves. Kind of picking things here and there. We're not going to go into detailed loot finding. But you guys do manage to pick up a fairly sizable haul. Essentially, each of you gets 15 gold worth of stuff.
Wow.
Okay.
Does that include the crew or?
Yeah, that includes the crew and everything. Basically, this is your share of what you find.
All we can carry.
Yeah, all you can carry. And you start sending some of your crews, you see them, haul that back to the ship, take that statue back to the ship, those crates over to the ship.
All right.
Barrels roll easy.
Yep. So by the time you're done, you do have like a sizable load of stuff. And at the palace, you can see that Dragotha has basically, kind of taken the king's body and mounted it up on the wall, sort of thing, as a sign. And you do see there's a lot of dead guards around here. A couple of dead large cats look like they were released into the palace grounds. And
Oh, they even killed the hounds. Gotcha.
and Dragotha sees him, kind of comes to smile. It's like, Captain Caro, it has been a most excellent venture.
I trust we didn't disappoint.
No, the slave city of Balnabon is no longer in business. The slaves have been freed. The men are busy taking what they can. I assume you and your crew made out well.
We did fine.
And did you happen to find? I know you were expressed some interest in Captain Deimos. Did you run into him?
I found him in the northwest. Apparently someone got to him before we did.
Oh, that's a shame. Do you happen to know who?
Not sure, no.
Oh,
Burnt
because
up pretty badly.
Well, then I guess his ship falls to me then. Normally it would fall to whoever killed him, but
Well, I'm sure you'll put it to good use. I could use some crew though, if you got some extras.
well, there's more than enough men here, so make sure that you give them a good opportunity.
Hard to bribe a man that's already got full pockets, but I'll see what I can do.
Well, I'm sure most of them just want to leave.
Well, we'll be setting sail as soon as we're able. Might stay a little while. Are you taking control of the city, or?
No, I'm not a politician. Our goal here is to free the slaves, sack the city, and teach them not to prey upon the villages up and down the river for their trade. I think we've driven that point home.
Look up the body mount on the wall. Yeah, I think you did.
So,
Well,
no, I'm much more at home on the open waters.
that ship of Deimos's. I could have sworn I seen it sailing off to the north.
No, his ship is still in the harbor.
Oh, was it a different ship, was it?
It was a different ship that Maladuk took.
What kind of ship did Deimos have?
It was a large caravel.
Essentially the same as ours.
A little bit bigger, actually.
Well, my liege. I mean, since we're all right here and you have an extra ship, maybe we can, since, we took care of the watchtower, ended up having to open the front gate because Deimos shit the bed, took care of the guardhouse, maybe we could do an even trade.
What sort of trade did you have in mind?
Well, I mean, I'll give you my ship, upgrade into Deimos's ship, and, well, since we did so much to make sure your venture was successful, that'd be fair, don't you think?
Is Deimos' ship tricked out with ballista?
No, it does not.
Hi, Captain. You may not want to be doing that. We put a lot of work into our ship. The Kraken's quite the outfit.
Well, we do have the galleon waiting for us too, Brett.
Aye, yeah, there's no need for this. We can use ours. It's a good ship. And then I wouldn't have to move all my stuff.
I suppose you're right. Greed just runs too deep in my blood, I guess.
Aye, well, never underestimate the power of having it outfitted with 2 ballistas.
Got those for steel too, if I remember.
The biggest advantage that the caravel has over your ship is it's got a shallow draft instead of a deep draft, and it's agile, so it can actually go up rivers and the like. But other than that, they're roughly the same size.
And like I said, ours is nicely tricked out.
Yeah, I don't see an advantage in trading there.
No, we dropped a bunch of coin on the ship. We might as well keep it.
All right, so next question. Do we want to rest before we go?
I'm ready.
Ragnar's gonna look around for Ortho.
Well,
Yeah, Ortho's here.
Is going to actually pull Ortho aside for a second.
Ragnar, glad to see you made it.
You as well, friend. So I have a proposition for you. A little side stop before we get home.
Well, it's sort of a side stop.
Well, you see out there on the horizon all the green lightning?
Yeah.
What's going on out there comes to play. We won't have a home much longer to go back to. None of us will. Nobody here will. Savvy?
I see.
Amos had an accomplice with him that is responsible for that. My captain and the rest of the crew are hunting that guy down. We will need backup.
Give me a difficulty. No, you're a Nordheimer, so difficulty 2, society or persuasion.
Okay. Both are pretty equally shitty, so they have momentum.
Yeah, spend it. You might actually want to throw in one of your fortune points.
I am going to spend a fortune and 3 momentum.
I think you can only 2 momentum. I think we'll tap out your pool.
Okay. Business mentor. Yes.
And a complication.
Ah,
I will just take Doom. So Arthur looks and says, I can't spend gold if I'm dead.
that was my thought as well.
But if this is something big, that's a hell of a fight, and be glorious stories to tell when we get back home. And he emphasizes we.
Oh, I agree. That was my plan. What? Because this guy that they were hunting, that was my end goal anyway. I was going to I was going to return home when that is dealt with anyway. So This is huge. Bigger than any of us.
So yeah, he kind of turns and he starts like barking orders to his men in Nordheimer. It's basically like, carry everything you can to the ships, oil up your weapons. There's another fight coming. There's like a cheer from the men, and it's a lot like the big we may not live, but we'll go down swinging sort of thing. And the rest of you, you're not exactly sure what is going on, but there's suddenly a bunch of very pumped up Nordheimers clanging their axes on their shields and yelling and
Like they do. I mean,
like they do.
I'll just we'll see you at the docks when it's time to set off.
Excellent. And he'll, give you like a good hearty like handshake and start getting his men ready to sail out.
Fortunately, I understand Nordheimer.
All right. So yeah, you did catch all of that. A lot of like, we may fight and we may die, but we'll see the halls of Valhalla sort of thing.
So I can
And
easily conclude that Ragnar just made a deal.
Yep.
Yay, we don't have to go alone.
Captain,
Yeah.
may count Ortho and his men among our forces to fight whatever is out there.
Perfect. I expect we'll get a few more. Just need a little bit of time to make sure we're organized, collect our thoughts, heal our wounds.
Agreed.
speaking of which, if we're done here, Captain, I'll get the men back to the ship. Get the loot stowed away.
Perfect. Let's make sure everything's in order.
Right.
So I'm thinking we're due downtime before we go fight the boss. Unless there's a strong reason to think that time is of the essence. Like if 2 days are going to make a difference, we'll go now. But I wouldn't mind spending XP healing before we go.
Hard to say.
I don't think any of us has any way of knowing. Except for maybe Zabibi.
Actually, Rory can give me a sorcery check as well.
Yeah, I was going to get those two to do that.
This seems important. I'm going to spend a fortune point.
Okay.
What difficulty?
We'll say difficulty of 1.
Okay.
Basically, the basics are pretty easy to know. It's the particulars and that's what momentum is for. So.
Gotcha. So I'll just spend the fortune and then roll normally. See.
Okay. Good roll.
Nicely done.
There we go.
Right. So you and ZB kind of put your heads together. And the thing with sorcery, especially sorcery of this magnitude, is it takes time. It's certainly not going to happen overnight. How much time? You're not entirely sure. I mean, the longer you wait, the worse it's going to get. But he's certainly not going to do everything that he seems to want to do in the span of a day or two. So figure as long as you find him within the week, he probably won't be able to do everything he wants to do. It is going to get progressively worse the longer it takes, but he's not going to be able to complete things until at least a week.
How far away do we figure it is? I mean, we see it happening.
Yeah, you could see the storm clouds and everything on the horizon, so assuming smooth sailing, you could probably be out there to where he is in like a day or two. You do know that Clytius has occasionally managed to make really good times, so that might work in your favor.
I guess the other thing is, I don't think there's any way to do downtime in a raised city.
You can still do things like heal wounds, spend your XP, that sort of thing.
Okay.
We're not going to worry too much about the carousing phase of things.
Gotcha.
It's basically, just taking a day or two to visit the healers to get things taken care of and, getting ready for, what could be the final voyage.
Gotcha.
Alrighty. Yeah, I think we should heal. Spend XP.
Yeah.
And we have 8 gold that we can, outside of our 15 that we got, that we can spend for upkeep.
I'm not going to worry too much about spending for upkeep. You will have to spend like the 1 gold per wound or trauma. But you guys are in a race city that the pirates currently control, so it's not like you're paying to stay in an inn or any of that stuff.
Right, we just take whatever we want.
Right. So basically, you just have to pay for the healing and if there's any particular gear that you want. Other than that, I don't think anybody's got more than 1 wound, so you're looking at probably being able to leave the next day.
That'd be perfect.
Like if people were more badly wounded or had super important equipment that they needed to get or something like that, it might be different. But by tomorrow evening, you'll be ready to set sail, sort of thing.
I think the only thing I had was I needed to get my axe fixed, but not a big deal.
Yeah, you can either get it fixed or just pick up a new one.
All right, I'll get it fixed.
Yeah. You know, there's a bunch of the pirates are sitting around, you know, sharpening weapons, oiling weapons, cleaning the blood off of weapons, banging the dings out of weapons.
After that, Clytius will focus mainly on getting the ship ready to go and make sure make sure everybody else is taken care of. You know.
Okay, so XP wise, I'm gonna pick up Wealthy 3 and Ear of the King
All right.
for 350. Because Ear of the King is going to help us a great deal. I hope. Ragnar changed my plans.
Oh, did I?
Oh, you had the great idea of recruiting people, and I'm like, well, fuck, I can recruit this whole fucking place if I roll on it.
Hmm. Where I
And
saw
spend
it was-
XP.
Where I saw it was like, I have a really good in with Ortho. I was like, I could probably get him on our side.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about it. Then when you did the ortho thing, and I'm like, wait a minute, we could go this route.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So while you guys figure out your XP spends and everything, we'll do our bio break and everything.
Okay.
All right.
That's good.
Perfect.
Yep.
And we will be back in like 10-ish minutes.
We were just talking about after Maledict going north to Ragnar's home.
It works out for all parties.
Yep.
Or maps all black.
And
Fog of War sign.
Okay. Give me half a second. There you go.
Perfect.
You guys are right there off the coast of Kush.
Boys, we've traveled a bunch over the last, 13 sessions or so.
This
16.
is number 16.
Because we've been all the way up to Corvella Bay and
We've nearly been to my home.
we almost got there.
Almost got there. Then we're like, wait a minute, we have to turn around.
All right. So yeah, you guys spend the rest of the morning and most of the next day getting healed up. And as evening falls on the next day, you guys are ready to set sail.
All right. Before we do, I want to try out this new feat or talent.
Okay.
I posted it in general so you could see it. And I'm going to see if I can persuade some other of the pirate groups to come help us. Totally stealing Ragnar's idea.
There's bound to be more reckless maniacs in town.
Egg on the whole idea of eternal glory.
Right. So yes, go ahead and make your society or command roll. Difficulty is 5 because you're like, hey, who wants to go into certain death?
5.
To sane people, certain death is not very attractive.
Okay.
definitely.
So the way I do it, Chris, when I'm running, when you swap ability scores, you can still use the talents that you have for the other ones. I'm not sure how you do it.
Yes. Yeah, you're basically replacing what's rolled, but anything else still applies.
Okay. So it's still a command roll, even though I use society.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to spend 3 momentum for fortune.
Okay.
And I'm going to spend it for you. And I don't need a reroll because my society's stupid.
Right. All right. So, before you guys kind of like start getting healed up and visiting the healers and all that sort of thing, you start spreading the word around that, more death and glory awaits. And you do get a couple of other pirate crews that will sign on.
What was the difficulty on that? Sorry.
5.
Oh, wow. So only gained 1.
Yeah. But when you guys get ready to set out the next morning, Ortho and his crew are ready to go, and there's like 2 other smaller ships that are also signing on with their crews.
Can I spend momentum to get an extra one, or would it really even matter?
Won't really matter.
Okay.
But yes, you do have total of 4 crews, so probably around 100 or so men.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby at all.
Ragnar will get to work just getting people organized and ready for whatever fight might be ahead of us by simply telling them that there is no way to actually prepare for what we're going to see.
All right. Does anybody else want to do anything before you leave?
I'm still deciding what I want to kind of buy for Talon.
Okay.
I'm curious, Chris. Can I go back to the priest and see if he will have Mitra bless Clytius's mother's holy symbol?
Yes.
He's willing to pay.
So you're going to like you're going to go deal with the sorcerer.
Hopefully. The plan is to stab him in the back.
I
At
wish
least that's my plan.
I wish there was a way other than violence, but desperate times call for desperate measure. And he will take the symbol. So.
It was my mother's.
Well then, I'm certain you will keep it close to your heart. And he will basically he'll take it and he'll say some blessings over it and kind of bathe it in some incense. And when he hands it back to you, it feels strangely comforting. So while you have it, it will provide you with Courage 3.
All right. If there's anything I can give you to help your people.
Make sure whatever foul abomination is happening is stopped.
I'll do my best.
Okay, Chris, I am going to spend 300 and I'm going to pick up Iron Will and Healthy Superstition.
Oh, nice.
I'm also going to give him 5 gold.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But you just freed that gold.
Yeah, I know. I redistributed.
Okay. So an important thing with Healthy Superstition, because it's an immediate spend for momentum, you can also pay that with Doom if you want. Like, you can give me Doom to get that soak.
Yeah, I noticed that. Nice try.
So, the big thing with it is there's not really any limit on it.
Yeah.
So you could be like, I'm going to give the Game Master 10 Doom and get like 10 Courage Soak.
Nice try.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
All right. So in the evening, just before midnight, everybody gathers around, and there's kind of a solemnness to everybody. I mean, the crews that you've recruited are pirates and Nordheimers, but there's a solemnness to this. There's like word is kind of filtered around, and as people kind of gaze out towards that green glow on the horizon, there's very much like a sense of finality amongst the different crews, but the Nordheimers are going for a glorious fight. The pirates are going there, maybe there's loot. it's hard to predict why exactly a pirate is getting involved, but word is filtered around and people are willing to go. There's some good buys on the docks as like one particular crew, some of them may be going, some may be staying behind, so there's that sort of thing, some toasting, some drinking, and as everybody sets sail, a sizable group kind of like are at the docks to see you off. Enough actually that I will give everybody 1 fortune.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah. Note that if you haven't spent any, you can still get it because you're allowed to store up to 5. It will reset to 3 at the start of the next game, but and I will get Clytius to give me a sailing roll.
I will assist.
Okay, just 1 minute. Sailing, alright. I'll spend 1. I want this to be good. Or
Ooh,
Can re-roll all.
you can reroll
All right.
all of them. Yeah.
Wise Richard is awesome.
As we are sailing, Ragnar will, at this point, will try to spread out the Nord honor code just for all to hear.
Okay.
Won't get into it just because there's a lot of them, but
Why doesn't Ragnar give me a difficulty 0 persuade test?
all right.
Basically, just kind of treating it like a rally sort of thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's completely on board until you start and
I
everybody's
tripped.
when you start going on the glorious death and the halls of Valhalla. There's like some of the crews like
I imagine like all the ones on Ortho's ship are like, yeah, but the other ones on the other ships are like, eh.
yeah. What do you mean sudden death?
It's a very poor translation.
Yeah. Something is definitely lost in the translation between Nordheimer and Argosian and Zagarin.
I'm gonna pick up Imperious.
I think that's enough speeches for the day, Ragnar.
Yeah, I don't have an affinity to them as you do, Captain.
Don't worry, I'll show you how it's done once we get a little closer.
But this, you teach me speeches, I'll teach you a proper battle cry.
There we have it.
Alrighty. So the first day of sailing, did you want to spend 2 momentum to make a better time?
Sounds good to me.
I'm okay with it.
So yeah, as you set out onto the Western Ocean, it is oddly calm. But as you kind of keep your eyes on that glow on the horizon, you can see that like it is just like this greenish whirling cloud mass, and it's like all the fury of the ocean is concentrated in that one spot.
Don't suppose you could do anything about that, Zabibi?
Not from here.
Maybe if we get closer.
Like once we're in it, I can try, but it's I think it's gonna. What did they say? Batten down the hatches. I think it's gonna be rough sailing when we get there.
Appears so. Let's signal the fleet. Let them know.
So you guys kind of set up your signal flags and signal back and forth, and
Yeah, normally Tevian would do that, so
yeah,
maybe Grim's doing that now.
yeah. And the next day, you guys make surprisingly good time.
Clytius for the win.
And the next day, another sailing roll. And
Okie dokie.
difficulty for this is 2 because the rains are picking up.
I think I ignore that, don't I?
I believe you do.
Navigator ignores all DC penalties from hazards, harsh weather, magical impediments, and similar dangers.
That sounds perfect.
Sweet. Spend 1. I could reroll 2 of those?
Yep.
Okay. Oh.
Well, I got one. You got one.
Yep.
Yeah,
We got 2 to rub together.
Yeah, and the difficulty was only 1 because of your navigator, so
Great.
gives you 1 momentum.
Spend 2 to speed her up, I assume, eh?
Yep.
So you sail through the next day, and as you start to get closer and closer to this roiling cloud, you can vaguely see through the flashes of lightning, like jagged peaks, and what definitely looks like a landmass in amongst those clouds and that greenish lightning that flashes. And there are no islands on your charts, as far as your navigational aids tell you.
Yep.
We should definitely have someone looking out for rocks ahead.
Yeah, who's our best observation guy
I believe he's driving the boat.
that's not driving the boat?
Without Debian, unfortunately.
Grim, I guess, is up. He's a sailor. He should be able to do some observation.
You can certainly try.
I have a 9.
So, yeah, it's just as you start to sail into this this green cloud, the rain is just pounding. The winds have picked up, much like here in New Brunswick today. The waves are crashing against the hull of the ship. You can't see more than like 15, 20 like meters off the ship. It is just foreboding. Are people below decks or on deck?
I would assume most of us are below deck. I think Claudius and I would be up
I think
top.
the driving happens on the deck.
I'm above deck.
I'm in my galley.
I'm organizing people.
Surprise of no one.
I think Berkey's probably with me because I have him just constantly on the ballista.
So, one second. Right. So can you guys see your party token?
Only the token and a little bit around it. Yeah.
Yep, that's pretty much what it's like.
What's the sea state?
It is like multi-foot waves crashing into your ship, occasionally large enough to actually come onto the deck. And the water has this like oily feel to it. Even the rain, there's like this oily feel to it, and this like dead fish smell that permeates everything.
Does it make sense to wait till morning? Or is the rain so hard it wouldn't matter?
It'll matter slightly, but only slightly.
Clytius is going to lash himself to the wheel.
Caro's going to lash himself to Clytius.
And I need Clytius to give me a difficulty 2 sailing test.
All right.
Here we go again.
Yep. Gonna spend one and hope for the best. Actually, I think I might spend a fortune. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
No help from the captain.
So the ship is rocking, and there's a couple of times where like people almost get washed overboard, and like their friends kind of like reach out to grab them, pull them on board. It is very, very, very rough sailing. Over the course of like several hours as you're kind of sailing through this mess, everybody on deck takes 2 vigor, ignoring armor. And then another vigor, ignoring armor.
So 3 vigor altogether?
For anybody that's above deck.
Oh, okay. I'll continue to make sure my spices are lashed down.
And down below decks, Rory, you can tell pirates are generally fairly superstitious. And there is a lot of maybe we shouldn't have come. This feels wrong. Something's not right here. And somebody else would be like, Captain Caro hasn't steered us wrong before. And it's like, yes, but this maybe he steered us wrong big time.
So what you're saying is we need a counseling session.
Yes, if you would like to make a difficulty 3 council roll.
Alrighty.
I believe the proper phrase is, "Do you apes want to live forever?"
Okay, well, let's have a look here. Look under the hood. Alrighty, so what do we got here? We got counsel, yes, decent. I have to check my talents here because I'd have some talents. Oh, good, and I've got a reroll. Excellent. So what do we have for momentum?
There's 3.
I'm going to use those, and hopefully we'll, get the crew in line. I'll use auspices of, well, hey guys, do you remember the time when? I mean, come on, that seems a lot worse than this.
It's not even a crack in here.
That's right. It's just it's a weird storm with a weird landmass. It's great. There's no kraken. We're not seeing things get dragged into the depths of whatever.
Not even a single tentacle. Come here.
Meanwhile, above deck, Ragnar's still just like, what the fuck did I see?
Yeah, every time the lightning flashes, Ragnar's kind of like eyeing the sky.
Yeah, just waiting to be like, you see, there it is again. No, he's just
Okay, so D3. Let's go.
waiting.
Well, I'm going to re-roll the 14. Well, apparently I'm not quite as successful as I would like to.
It's like you've just about got them kind of like got their nerves calmed a little, and then the ship hits like a huge wave, and it like lists severely, and you can tell that everything that you've told them, you can still see in their eyes that they are not. They are having severe second thoughts about having agreed to come to this.
Well, I will console myself with the fact that I did the best I could, and that they're here anyways.
Right.
Kind of that pragmatic view. It's not like they're going to jump off the ship at this point.
Yeah, that's a feeling the first time you submerge a submarine. You're here. Doesn't matter.
No turning back now.
Well, daytime doesn't help a bit. Well, that helps a lot.
So as the sun starts to quote unquote rise, you see before you a massive coastline stretching kind of as far as the eye can see. It looks like you don't see any mountains or anything. A couple of hills here and there, and enough to indicate to Clytius's trained navigator senses that it's actually probably several islands. Just a question of where you want to go to.
Zabibi,
Mm-hmm.
can you find them?
I can, but he's gonna know we're here.
All right. Can you do anything about this weather?
Try. This is a little bit above my pay grade, but she'll kind of step on, and the deck of the ship is rocking. The waves have not let up. Kind of does her best to focus herself. And there's no momentum in the pool. So she kind of gathers the energy around herself, and you can feel like around her the storm sort of abates a little bit as she's kind of drawing in the power. And you can see her like rain slick hair is like kind of fluttering with the power and the wind. And she releases it to no effect. I don't believe this is mortal sorcery.
Don't even want to know what that means.
It means that he's probably getting close.
All right, Grim, signal the fleet. We're making landfall.
Captain.
Which island does it look like it's coming from?
Can't really tell. The fog is kind of encircling everything. Clytius, you can give me observation test.
Alrighty. Ooh, no momentum. Spending a fortune.
I'm with him, so can I assist?
Yeah, as you guys are kind of scanning the horizon, looking for the best place to.
Nice. That'll give us 6.
All right.
Oh, nice.
So this island that you're fast approaching, you can see to the northern part of it, there is what looks like a tower. Like as the lightning flashes, you can see a tower to the north part of that island.
Okay. Is there any good spot to make landfall?
It is. You're probably going to have to take longboats in. You don't want to
Right.
take your ship too close to the actual coast.
Okay.
But yeah, it is like rocky beach along most of the coastline.
All right. If we can find a spot where we probably won't run aground, I'll probably recommend that we weigh anchor. Probably as close as we can get to the tower, I guess.
Right.
Just, in case we have to beat a hasty retreat.
Somewhere up like around there.
Yeah, without getting too close. We don't want to end up on Jagged Rock Junction.
Okay. Right. Give me one more difficulty 2 sailing test.
Okay.
On the plus side, it's not like they know where we're coming.
No help for me.
Okay.
Oh, you can reroll.
There we go. It's
All
all
right.
good.
The mighty power of the reroll.
Yeah. So yeah, as you're bringing the ship in, you get to a point where it's getting very difficult to maneuver it, and there's like a little bit of a scraping across the hull, and you're like, okay, this is as far as we can safely go.
Weigh anchor.
Is Tyler
Signal
live
the
over
fleet.
there?
Okay. So you drop your anchor, the other ships weigh anchor as well. Hop down into some longboats.
It's a rather ominous looking tower right there, Cap. Just a bit inland.
Ortho's ship is a longship, right?
His ship? Yes, I believe so.
So I imagine he can probably get right up to shore pretty much.
He can. He's got shallow draft.
Yeah.
We
Shut
don't.
off. God, I love longships.
You say that now. I'll wait till we get our galleon.
Hmm.
Assuming we live.
Now, let's not get
Of course
the
we will.
crew
We're gonna throw
spooked
this guy into a
any more
volcano.
than they already are.
Aye.
Certainly a bit of a cowardly and superstitious lot.
So you guys put ashore. You manage and start making your way across this island, and the island itself, like everything is, all the stone is slick. Like not just necessarily from the rain, but it's also covered with like muck and mud and seaweed and unidentifiable plants and small arthropods and dead sea life.
Like it actually rose from the depths.
Like it rose from the depths. And there's a weird greenish phosphorescence that kind of clings to the stones and everything.
Kind of like a moss.
Kind of. And every once in a while, it seems like this phosphorescent energy just kind of hisses and crackles and then just discharges up into the atmosphere. So the lightning that you guys have been witnessing is actually going from the ground up instead of from the sky down.
Lightning always goes from the ground up, so
True.
or just being able to see it being generated.
Yes. And there's like this cloying dead smell, like wet to death, that just sticks to your nostrils.
Why could it just like smell like wet cardboard?
But so as you're making your way through, you're gonna pick your way across these like mud and barnacle crusted ruins. Obviously, there was a civilization of some sort at one point. And you come across this like barnacle encrusted mosaic showing a very large tentacled mass and these finned humanoid creatures bowing in worship to it. That tentacled mass, Ragnar, looks very familiar to you.
That's what I saw, Captain.
Anyone know anything about this?
That would be a lore check.
And I do have lore. I'm just not as good.
Tebby stops playing on the game that we really need.
Hmm.
Okay. So let's. Do we have any momentum or not?
There is 4.
Ooh. All right. I think I'll use. What difficulty?
Difficulty 3.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'll. I'm going to use a fortune and a. I believe I can get what 2 more dice.
Yes.
All right, now I'll spend 2 of the momentum and a fortune and the roll. We'll see what we can get.
Oh, you got 3. And so did Steve. So as you're looking, you vaguely remember ages ago you got some books, some like sorcery books that you kind of leafed through here and there. I think you got them in a treasure hoard in one of your first piracy adventures. Um, there's no doubt that these tentacled things are definitely the Black Gods of Raleigh. Um, Specifically, this tentacled monstrosity is a being called Thesilla. But what's curious is you're kind of like following along the mosaic, kind of piece things together. It seems like these fish creatures that you guys have encountered before around Maledict Mer worship these forgotten gods. But then there's a part of the mosaic where it shows a humanoid creature, not a fish creature, not human, but humanoid. Seems to be holding up something that looks like a pentagram, and seems to be driving the entity away.
Hmm.
And CB's like, she's looking at us while she's like, that's a stone of Minar.
Which is what exactly?
Like a talisman, maybe. The Atlanteans and the Lemurians use them to protect against the dark forces, against the Elder Ones.
I don't suppose you have one of those on hand.
No, they're myth and legend. But then she kind of looks around and says, "Where are these islands, though?"
So, according to this story, if we had one of these talismans, we'd be able to force this thing back to where it came from.
Maybe, probably. I don't know. Don't know how they work exactly. But we don't have one, so
Okay, but if this old being is already here and manifest, apparently, is it too late?
I don't think it's here in Manifest yet,
Oh,
because we're still alive.
fair.
We're not going to find any answers here.
Right. So she looks distracted, like she's thinking about the stones, about the question asked. It's like keeping her eyes open, just in case, sort of thing. But you travel and you make your way to this ruined tower. It's like a sagging mass of like slimy black and green stones. It's about 70 feet high. And there is like basically a mud and slime caked door that leads into it.
Ew.
How many guys do we have from the other ships with us?
Probably like a handful.
Wow.
Basically, it's some cannon fodder.
Always good to have cannon fire.
Sorry, I was just gonna ask. Do you think that symbol has any power on its own, or is it the rock and the symbol?
It might just be the symbol, but in order for a symbol to have power, you need to make sure it is exactly right and empower it in some fashion.
Okay. All right. I guess let's get this door open.
Rory, do you think this is a door for you to open or a door for Ragnar to open?
Well, probably more like Ragnar. I see it as it's possible that the slime might be oily enough, and well, we don't want to burn everything down.
I'll hold you to that. Ragnar, you want to open the door for me?
Yes, Captain, and Ragnar will delegate to a few of the cannon fodder.
Hey, Chris.
Yep.
Does the coral knife have any special stats, or is it just a dagger?
It has.
It's like piercing 2 or 3, I think.
It has hidden 1 and piercing 2.
Hidden 1, piercing 2. Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
3 damage.
Base damage is. Yes, base damage is 3.
Reach 1.
Reach 1.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, the big thing when he hit you is I rolled 3 effects, and piercing 2 makes that a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Put an exploit on that. Holy jumpers.
Putting an exploit on that, you'd have piercing 4. That's weird.
Gross.
All right. So it takes a little bit to kind of clear some of the ground, and you like creak open this door, and it's parts of it are wooden, and the parts that are wooden are so rotted that they just kind of fall, and the whole door just kind of collapses. And inside there is a slippery ramp that kind of encircles the inside, kind of winding up towards the summit.
Something tells me something stupid's going to be up there.
Hard to say. Do we hear any weird chanting?
No, you do not. You do hear like thunder, and you hear the sound of rain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if nothing else, we've got some shelter from the rain and the wind.
Aye.
Might give BB a better chance in dealing with this weather.
I don't think that's going to be possible. I'm afraid we're just going to have to put up with it.
You might be right. Yeah, regardless, come this far, might as well find out what's on the top.
Aye.
So who is climbing up?
Sorry, what are we climbing up?
Ragnar would probably take the lead.
This is the most agile.
What are we climbing up?
The inside of the tower.
Oh, there's no stairs or anything?
No, there's like a slippery ramp, kind of encrusted with mud and slime that encircles the interior, going up towards the summit.
Oh, balls. I can probably get up there.
Yeah, go take a look.
So your choice of a difficulty 2 acrobatics or athletics. And difficulty 1 if you have human spider.
I
We'll
do.
go with you.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
Spend a momentum. Okay. That'll give us some.
I failed.
Uh-oh.
I think like I went to take a step and then just face planted.
Okay. All right. So Rory and Ragnar start making their way up. Or sorry, Clytius and Ragnar start making their way up. You get
fair distance up, and then Ragnar kind of hits like a patch of that like slick. You know, like if you've ever crossed a stream and you step on one of those like slime encrusted
Oh, yeah.
rocks
Mhm.
with like no friction whatsoever.
Oh yeah, that hurts.
Mm.
You take 3 points of vigor damage that armor does not help with.
We healed up the vigor from the rough seas. Yeah.
You have not.
Oh, we have not. Okay.
Ooh.
And now that you think about it, you're like, I'm feeling a little bit drained.
Okay.
But Clytius, you make it up. Difficulty. How many ranks of strong back do you have?
Let's see. I am up to 3, I think. Yep.
So it's 3 bonus successes.
Yep, that's correct.
All of them are victory.
So yeah, you do manage to climb up, and it looks like the top of this tower, which is about 70 feet off the ground, has basically been sheared off. But you open a little trapdoor, gonna put your shoulder into it, open it up, and you have a surprisingly good view. And as you kind of like look around, you can see to the northwest. There's another island dotted with what look like some sort of ruins. And give me a observation check.
Okay.
The difficulty. There's different things to notice depending on different directions. So some things you'll get on D1, some of them you'll get on D2, some of them you'll get on D3.
Okay. I'll spend a momentum.
It's easier to do it that way rather than having you make like 5 separate rolls.
Actually, this is probably pretty important. I'll spend 2.
Okay.
And I can reroll the 18.
Oh.
All right.
Nice.
All right.
God damn.
So 2 back in the pool, and we've got 4 or 3 to spend on.
Well, some things are difficulty 3 to note, so
Oh, okay.
so I'll give you all the information. Then you have one overflow if you have any questions.
Okay.
So off to the northwest, you see there's another island. It looks to be dotted with groups of black stone ruins. Almost directly to the west of you, you can see a very vague blur of white water in the sea. But over the sound of the storm, you can hear rushing water.
That'd be the whirlpool.
That would be the whirlpool.
Right. Bad.
To the southwest, you see another island dotted with black stone ruins. But you can also see vaguely man-sized shapes moving amongst the ruins.
Is that G?
That's G.
Okay.
Directly to the west, you see there's another island. This one has a central hill, several more ruins, and movement detected near the summit of the hill. That would be H.
So movement on H, movement on G,
Yeah.
whirlpool in the middle.
Yeah. And further to the northwest, you see another island strewn with ruins, on which you can see a small fire and pick out humanoid figures moving around. That would be D.
Hello?
Yep.
Oh, sorry, what did I miss?
Did you get Island D with the fire?
Island D has fire in the hill or in the, or is it like a big bonfire?
It's a fire that you can see at this distance, so it's probably a decent size, and you can see some human-like figures moving around it.
Okay.
Well, fish people wouldn't need a fire, so can we get our ships between those islands, Chris?
Probably. I mean, some of it might be a little bit hairy sailing, but
Probably a little shelter from the islands, though, right? As opposed to open sea.
a little bit. In the meantime, those of you that are not up above, so Karo, Rory, and Ragnar,
Did we get anything for H and B, Chris?
I don't believe so.
So I've got D is bonfire, impossible cultist / movement. C is the whirlpool, and
Okay.
G is
All right.
movement and ruins.
So B is the one just to the northwest of you,
Yeah.
which you've seen ruins on.
But okay, ruins, but nothing else.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And H was the one with the hill and some movement.
Right.
But I will get Rory, Ragnar, and Karo to give me observation tests.
Good job, Ragnar. 5 by 5.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Wow.
So over the sound of the rain outside, you guys can hear this horrible squelching sound.
Oh, that's much worse. I was going to guess Ooga Chaka. Ooga Chaka.
Followed by some screams that are kind of cut short.
On me right now. Let's go check it out.
I'm assuming outside the door.
Outside the door.
Oh boy.
Claudius, we have company.
All right.
And as you kind of poke your head out, you can see what looks like a dozen or more skeletons have basically pulled themselves from the ground, and they're like intertwined with seaweed and other plant life, and it looks like the plant life is maneuvering the bones.
Oh.
They're
Don't
all
like that.
moving in this very, very herky-jerky way, and I need everybody to give me a difficulty 1 discipline test.
Alright. See, it's a good thing I bought some discipline stuff.
Well,
You got a map for this, Chris?
I do.
Oh, I do.
All right. So Clytius failed.
Yep.
And Ragnar failed.
Always the plants.
Always the plants. They look vaguely like tentacles.
I don't like it.
Alright, so Clytius. You're going to take 1 point of resolve damage, which you easily soak thanks to your talisman and other things.
Excellent.
But you are stunned.
Okay. That's fine.
Unless you want to give me one doom.
Nope.
Ragnar, you're going to take 2 resolve damage.
Okie dokie.
And you are also stunned.
Doesn't the captain provide a soak?
He does.
Yeah, just rolled it. 1, 2.
So Ragnar is stunned as well, unless you want to give me 2 doom.
I would rather not.
All right.
There goes both for fighters.
You guys are up, and you can see like these skeletal things are basically the pirate crews that have come with you are basically doing their best to hold them off. You know, they got their cutlasses out, and they're like attacking the skeletons attacking back. A couple of them are just like have lost their minds with like fear. You see like the ones that are basically incapacitated, the vines in the ground kind of reach up and start like reanimating them and forcing them.
I figured I was at the top of the tower anyway. It wouldn't be too much help.
Well, Captain, I suspect these might burn well.
Let's find out, shall we?
Aye, like I said, there's a lot of almost petroleum notes around this island.
We're all staying here till we find out if the island's flammable.
Aye, fair. So I will... Okay, so where I'm standing, I can't see anything, I guess?
No, but as you step to the doorway, you can see a few. There you go. So yeah, there looks like there's like maybe a dozen or so of these animated vine skeleton things.
Alright, so 2 of them are engaged and 1 isn't.
Yeah.
Well...
And each of these is a group.
Right, so... If I want to affect more in the group, I need to use another area one, right?
Yes.
Alright, well, I'll throw a level 4 then, over at
Okay.
that group over there, and see what we can catch on fire.
Okay.
I'm hoping they're extra burny. Okay.
Like that little dark mist you get going on in the lighting
Get
grid.
around
Chris.
this,
Yeah, it came out fairly well.
Yeah, it did.
I've been playing around a lot with the different lighting effects. I found an absolutely amazing mod for D&D, like just like 5e D&D, so I can't use it for the advanced D&D. But it essentially animates everything. Like you pick your target, you roll your attack, it determines whether you hit, it applies the damage. If they have to make a saving throw, it automatically rolls the save. If they succeed for half, it does half damage. If somebody has resistance, it takes half.
Oh, wow.
I was like, holy shit.
Alright, I'm going to use 3 momentum.
All right. Like the big thing with some of the automation is it just speeds up things because combat can take quite a while in D&D virtually. That is a solid hit.
I think I'm going to re-roll the 19, though.
May as well. Which one were you targeting? The one up there by himself?
Yeah, the one by himself. I don't want to accidentally catch any of the boys.
Gotcha. Always a good plan with area. All right.
All right, I'll roll my 4D.
Yep. And you do have one extra if you want to use it on damage or anything.
Yes.
Okay. So it'd be 4 damage, but there's 2 blanks if you want to spend a momentum to reroll them.
I would
Might
like.
as well.
Oh. So that's 1, 2. So it's 4 damage to 3 of them. Okay. And then you can, it's got areas so you could spread it and hit another guy. And then, so they don't seem to be any more flammable, but they're not non-flammable either.
Excellent.
So yeah, so a bunch of them take not quite enough damage to drop them. I will note you could spend, if you spend 1 more momentum, that'll pump the damage up to 5, which is enough to drop them.
Let's do it.
Oh, sorry, you need to pump it. No, 5 would do it. 5 would be a wound.
Excellent.
Okay. Perfect. So it's going to drop. There.
They're killable.
So that group up north, basically, because area automatically hits everybody in reach, so they all take the damage. They all die.
Boop.
And the guys that are over here fighting some pirates, some of them burn as well. That will lead us with Karo.
Hi, Captain, your go. Do you want to talk it to death?
The pirates we have here, how many are the pirates?
There's like 5 in each group. 2 mobs.
Okay, I'll form a squad with these guys.
Okay.
And I will stab it with my spear.
Okay. So you kick one of the guys out of the group, say, move over.
I never attack with a spear.
Well, Tebbian used it to good effect.
Ooh, nice.
It's a teamwork test, though.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. So 3 from them, 3 from you. So it's 5 momentum. So you have 2 overflow.
2 overflow. Are they carrying weapons?
Yes, they are. They have their broken weapons, but their claws look just as sharp and pointy.
So it doesn't matter much. I don't have blue talents. Let's put 4 into damage.
Okay.
I really need blue talents. Oh, 6 ain't bad.
No, 6 isn't bad at all.
And that's piercing 3?
It's actually 10 because you put 4 into damage, right?
Oh yeah, I did put it in the wrong. So 10 damage, piercing 3.
Okay. There's no effect, so the piercing's not going to matter.
Oh, right, yeah.
But 10 damage. So yeah, you basically like throw your spear into one and like basically crack it open like you're cracking like a lobster shell. And then like hit another one with the butt of it.
Help, 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 help.
Okay. And
Hurry hard!
Zahibi. What will she do?
Yes, you have my permission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunately, her spells don't work against undead. Well, one of them does, but you don't want to use them that. So she will. Well, actually, maybe she might be able to do something. Oh no, that's gonna hit everybody. Doesn't want to do that. If I call down lightning, it's gonna hit you and like everybody there, Captain.
Just stay in the tower.
Yes, sir. All right, these guys are going to attack your mob.
Yay, free hit points.
Where's my other dice? They're listed as a mob. Why did it not roll my other 2 dice?
It does that. I'm not sure why.
So that is going to be 3 momentum.
My reach is 3.
Okay. So they will. Well, they're not. They can't target you, so your reach doesn't matter.
Oh, right.
But they are going to definitely claw some people.
And I can't parry because I don't have the talents.
So they're going to do 2 damage to one of your minions. It catches a sword blow.
You could parry, you'd just be bad at it.
I can't react in a squad
Oh, gotcha.
without skirmisher.
These guys over here. They're going to miss the pirates. All right, back around to you guys. Ragnar and Clytius, you guys are unstaggered.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Come on down, Claudius. Or maybe Ragnar should go first since you're going to give us a bunch of momentum, right?
Well, you guys are at 6 right now.
No, but Ragnar could spend momentum in his attack, and then
Gotcha, yeah.
Claudius is going to make momentum because it's athletics.
Yeah, Ragnar is going to close with the nearest assailant.
I'm
Thanks.
I'm assuming your guys are with you. I just didn't drop the tokens on the map.
Yeah. I've got my team. And we will attempt to hack into these plant-piloted corpses. Alright. Since we have a full pool, I'm just going to strip spend 2 or 3 momentum.
Go for it. Do it.
Say 3.
Do it.
uh,
Ooh. All right.
we'll add a blood on steel.
Okay. So you generate the 7 momentum, and your guys add another 6.
Uh-huh.
They're dead.
Sounds like a lot of damage.
So any run over adds to damage. Will
Yeah.
just be added to damage.
Yeah. So that's 13 momentum. So 10 blood on steel, and then you have 9 extra for damage if you want.
Oh God.
Perfect.
Don't bother adding that into the bonus momentum. Just we'll add 9 onto whatever you roll here.
All right. I'm
Ooh.
going to re-roll the blank.
Roll the blank.
Yeah. I'm always risky in Tony's games. Whenever I re-roll ones as well, more often than not.
So then add 9.
All right, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 and 6 is 14, and 9 is 23 damage.
Almost the record.
Almost. I know I got like a 24 in your game.
25 is the record I've seen.
Ragnar emerges from the tower with his entourage with a full Nordheimer battle cry.
So yeah, so you guys like run into these animated dead, like a wave breaking on the rocks. It's just like
I think it's like the Ride of the Rohirrim.
yeah, like by the time you stop moving, you're on the other side of them, and there's still like some bones falling onto the ground.
That's inspirational.
So that was Ragnar on team. That leaves us with Rory, Caro, and Clytius.
Well, I'll get stabby. We don't need to spend alchemy at the moment, I don't think.
Nope. Not with the danger of catching others.
We'll stabby.
Okay.
I'll spend 3 momentum to make a fortune.
Okay.
Because I'm lucky.
Your pirate crew is actually doing really well. That's 3 successes for them.
They can reroll the
4 successes for them.
I'll reroll the 20. Wise veteran.
So 5 momentum generated.
So that's 2 overflow.
We'll meet here.
No, the pool is still full.
Oh, I spent 3
Oh, you spent 3.
for the fortune thing.
Okay, right.
So let's spend 4 on damage.
Okay.
And we'll just add it.
Find any summer
You did
thoughts?
the other time. 5 damage.
Right. Thankfully, one of them was already wounded, so he goes down.
I can spend a momentum to reroll.
You could.
How many's left?
3.
Yeah, we'll do that. Still no
So,
effects though.
8 damage. Drops 1, does not drop the second, but badly wounds him. That will take us to Rory and Clytius.
We're down 1 momentum too.
Okay, I need to make my way down, so I'll do that.
Okay. That is a difficulty 1 acrobatics or athletics roll for you.
Okay.
Note though that it does take your action to climb down, so if you want to attack, you'll be +1 difficulty.
I also have to leave the tower too, so I guess that's probably my move.
Yeah, it would take your standard action to climb down, a second standard action to close, but then you wouldn't be able to attack.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, can't argue with that. What happened there? I don't think that actually rolled. Hang on.
Hey, you're missing a dice there.
There we go.
All right. So 3 successes turns into 6.
Yep.
So you do have enough momentum if you want to run out there for your like second standard action, but then you wouldn't be able to attack.
All right. Well, I'll get out there.
Okay. And that will leave us with Rory.
Well, so what do the combatants look like now?
There is one badly wounded skeletal thing and one not wounded skeleton thing.
Okay. Well, I guess it's time. I think I'll just do a little physical then. I'll go and do a little hand to hand with one of them.
Okay.
Pull out the old shiny Schmitter and have at it.
There is one like lone pirate that can like form up with you like back to back.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, because a mob can only be 5, so Karo kicked somebody out of that mob so he could join them.
Yay, you can join me.
Yeah, you get the ginger.
I don't have any leadership skills, but okay. We've got some momentum, do we?
Yep.
All the momentum.
All the momentum.
Sweet. Well, since me and the swords are not that great, I'm going to use. Okay, there it is, melee. haven't seen that one in a while.
Yeah, let's do the same thing. Spear? What? Huh?
I got my shiny Schmitter. Kind of does make me wonder if it does a little something extra to these things.
That's
Damn.
a good solid hit. Your minion helps you with 1 as well, so that is 4 momentum.
Nice. A net gain of 1, which will put into damage. Okay.
So on your belongings, if you just like click on the scimitar, it'll bring up like an attack damage thing.
Gotcha.
Got Carol and Rory fighting mob. Something's gone bad.
No kidding, eh? Okay, it's got other listed as 1. What's that?
That would be from your brawn.
Okay.
So you could spend. So you put that 1 into damage, or did you want to re-roll your blanks with it, or?
Actually, why don't we just re-roll the blanks?
Okay.
That could be good.
Yeah. Right, but 3 is enough to drop the wounded one anyway.
Yay!
Ragnar's just shaking his head at Rory and Caro trying to fight these guys.
Well, it's about not using other resources.
We're doing great, Rory. We got this.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Sahibi may as well try this.
Occasionally, I have to get my hands a little dirty just to prove that I'm really a pirate.
So she's going to use the 2 momentum that she generated on that. Oh, no. She figured out its weak spot, but she missed with the knife.
Gotta say, it looked like a backstab.
Well, this is it. She does have, she could use Venom on the Wind, but it specifically does damage to everybody not in shelter.
Yeah. No.
And it's a lot too. It's like, it does X damage, where X is equal to the momentum you spend.
Ugh.
Unfortunately, it's gonna get a swing.
Yes, there's one left standing is going to take a swing. Well, Rory's the one that hit it, so it's going to try to attack Rory.
Given that we can't heal, every swing's a big deal.
Oh, so I said that should have only been 1 die, so ignore that. What's the reach on Rory's weapon? I think it's 2 for a scimitar.
Yeah.
So it swings, but because its weapons are basically like broken and long since disintegrated, it's essentially attacking you with the little jaggedy bit sticking out of the hilt, so it only has reach of 1. So you managed to keep it at bay with your scimitar.
Huh. This thing's got parrying and cavalry times 1.
Yep, cavalry does extra things if you attack from horseback with it.
Cool.
And if you trade into that, it's gross.
So
out of combat, it's awesome.
With one last dead thing left, it doesn't take long for everybody to kind of finish it off.
Splut.
But you can see already some of the seaweed and some of the vines are already starting to wrap around the bones and kind of pull them slowly back together.
Ugh.
I hate this place. What'd you see, Clydes? Clydes?
He's dead, Jim.
I will inform everybody what I managed to glean from the top of the tower.
Think you can get the ship over by that fire? Pretty close. Can't swim between islands, so
No, we could, but we probably shouldn't.
well, you could. The rest of us can't. I'm just thinking if there's a fire, it's probably not a fish person, right? Fish people would like the rain.
Probably not.
It might be part of a ritual.
All right. Anything in here that's even remotely useful?
Think.
Taking a look around, everything here has basically been at the bottom of the ocean for 1,000 years or more.
So nothing to ransack.
Nothing to ransack.
All right, let's get back to the boat. See if we can bring her around. Oh, and Ragnar, I just want to point out that you see these boys that were with me here?
I do.
None of them are full of holes.
That's good.
I've been learning. See, I just been watching.
Well, glad I could teach you something.
Well, we all have things to teach.
Oh, so what you're saying is, Captain, then is you'd like to have a duel with Ragnar at some point?
I mean, if he'd like.
It's doable.
Oh, that seems like a good betting contest.
Well, you know where to put your money, I'm sure.
Of course.
On me, right, Rory?
Slap him on the back. Of course, Ragnar, of course.
Enters
Ragnar's
berserker
probably
mode.
like a foot taller than he is.
It's suddenly just enters berserker mode.
Yeah. Well, if we get out like the wooden swords, we'll see.
Alright, so you guys make your way back to the ships.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Move on to the fire.
Alright. Which way would you like to go there, Clytius? Do you want to go around the northern tip of this island, or do you want to kind of come up the middle channel?
I think we want to avoid the whirlpool.
Oh yeah, I lost the map for it.
Oh.
Ah. Yeah, we should probably go north and through the channel there.
Okay. Alright.
Because we're going, what, D, right?
D is where he spotted the fire.
We could go up and like all the way around, pass all the way around B and then down through. But we could just go this way. It's probably shorter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's about 10 miles shorter.
Yeah, it's much shorter, but it is there are some places there where it is quite narrow.
Not
Right.
against going around. What do you think, Claudius?
If it's gonna be narrow enough to wedge the ship, we don't want to do that.
You don't know.
Yeah. Let's go north then.
Okay. Go all the way around?
Yep. If we've got open water, we can make up time. But if we get stuck, we're stuck.
Yeah, and 10 miles is only so much, right?
Yeah. Alright. So you start making your way north, kind of like staying relatively close to the coastline, because you kind of want to keep your eyes open in case you spot anything of import.
Sure do.
And as you make your way around that island, Island B, no sign of habitation. You do see like ruins scattered here and there. You do see some very large crabs periodically, and by large I mean like the size of like a draft horse.
Ooh, supper.
I don't think I want to eat anything that comes from here. Just on account.
Ugh. It probably just came from the deep sea. Grant you probably can't crack the bloody things because of the pressure, but
And as you kind of make your way like up to the channel that goes between island D and F, I will get whoever your observer type person is to give me an observation check.
I think that's me and Claudius.
that would be the duo.
Well, if it's whoever we have in the crow's nest now, it's going to be random NPC, right?
Yeah, it's Grim.
Okay.
Yeah, Grim's not great at this.
Or Tebian, if he could be here.
Yeah, nope. Tevian is just like, nope. Ragnar said tentacles? Nope.
Do we have a guy that can, like Berkey, maybe?
Surely there's got to be somebody among the crew.
I've got to think of 9, but I think I get something else weird about it.
Do you get sharp senses?
Berkey's got an 8. Hakon has a 10. Indara also has a 10.
This is how far we follow.
The highest amongst Ragnar's folks is a 10.
Oh dear.
What do you got, Rory? 9? Do you have a reroll?
Zahibi has an 11.
We're not putting her up by herself.
No. Hey, hang on here now. My observation is a 9. But I got something here. Nope.
So yeah, your best not counting Zahibi appears to be a 10.
We'll take the 10.
Yeah, but here's the weird part. I mean, I can spend momentum.
Yeah, so can they actually.
Oh, they can.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think they can as well.
Yep.
We also have a spyglass, don't forget.
You do have a spyglass, which reduces the difficulty by 1.
I think there's no reason why we shouldn't allow Zabibi to go take a crack at it. She's very capable.
I don't think so.
Well, she might see some other things of importance that somebody else who's not trained in the ways would then not see.
All right. Well, if you want the BB to be up there, you go with her.
Fine. That's no problem. I can help. I'll roll the assist then.
Let's RP into it assist.
So she will spend a momentum. So this is going to come off of Doom because she's an NPC, but I'll adjust.
And what does the spyglass do again?
Lowers the difficulty by 1.
Sweet.
Fortunately, she does not have sharp senses, so...
True. Let me see here. So I'm going to roll an assist.
You're getting your Doom back, I guess.
She's either seen not enough or too much. It was almost really good.
All right. So as Zahibi and Rory are scouting, you do note she looks and then she passes the spyglass to you, so you can look. You can pass back and forth, and you can see that on one of the high hills on that island, on Island F, there looks to be an enormous door that is partially collapsed inward.
Oh, that doesn't bode well.
And by enormous door, I mean like 100 feet tall and 50 feet wide.
So enough for like Cthulhu to come through, right?
It is definitely very large.
Okay, and you said it's partially collapsed?
Partially collapsed inwards.
Oh, does that mean someone's probably working on it then?
Okay. And I will get Matthias to give me a difficulty 3 sailing test.
Oh boy. Okay. I'll spend 2 momentum.
Okay.
Actually, I'll spend a fortunate 2. Just because I don't want us to get stuck here.
Oof, nice. So, difficulty is 3, so you generate 3 momentum. And yeah, there's a sudden lurch as the back end of your ship starts to rise. And that's when Clytius, you notice that these islands and the waters around them are still moving. They're still rising in parts.
Right.
And that channel that you're going through is very, very narrow, and you're like, it wasn't that narrow when we turned down this way. And that's when you
Okay.
notice that it's basically looks like those two sides of this channel that you're in are starting to close together.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
But you basically turn the ship to catch like full wind into the sails. You know,
Let out the sails, boys.
let out the sails, and you lose like a tiny little part of your rudder as the stone scrapes against stone right behind you. But you do manage to avoid that potential catastrophe.
Okay. I think we'll probably look to make landfall on D, probably somewhere near the deeper water,
Okay.
like so we don't have to risk getting crunched in between the islands again.
Okay. So Sahibi will tell the captain about these large doors.
Thoughts?
Doors are meant to keep something in or something out.
They moved.
And you said they were
They moved.
falling inward.
Always.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say someone's probably attacking it from the outside.
Shouldn't we stop that?
I think it might be advisable. This might be what we're looking for.
What are you thinking, Claudius?
Don't know nothing about it, Captain.
Well, Roy, Zabibi, you're our best bet. Tell us where we need to go.
I think we should check out the doors, because that might be the way that the evil gets out.
The doors that cave at the top of F there, Chris?
And
Pardon?
Is that where the doors are?
No, right about where the F is. Right about there.
All right.
straight through.
All right, turn us about, Claudius.
Note that there is no about. Like that area behind you has closed.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the house that we all used to live.
If we have to make landfall on F, probably our best bet is to go to like here, just to make sure we don't get closed up on.
I suspect that this is not a series of islands, it's one large one. So being into the deeper water is probably a better idea.
What are these islands closing on themselves?
I was.
They're
Uh,
raising.
They're still in the process of raising and moving.
Good Lord.
Unless we want to be high and dry, we need to get out of this section. I, for one, do not fancy being stuck here.
What if we went around? Think we can get through? Like, is this passage still open?
Very good.
Yeah, everything except for that little passage you guys just came through is still open.
Well, since going back is not an option, we have to forge, but we should circle around this island and get it from the other side, because that may be much better for us in the long term.
Well, even if we end up successfully stopping whatever shenanigans that are going on here, you still have to be able to sail away, right?
Oh, I suspect. I don't know nothing about magic, but I suspect when whatever is meant to happen here doesn't happen, these islands are gonna become scarce.
Oh, sorry, quite possibly. If you want, up ahead, there seems to be a larger branch of water with a bit of an outcrop. Yeah, right there. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah. Maybe there is a good spot?
That's what I was suggesting. Yeah.
All right, works for me.
All right, let's get her done.
So as you guys kind of bring through your ship, and you can see like the islands are like this little island that you pass. You can see kind of like the water line, like as the waves kind of hit it, the water line is just a little bit higher and a little bit higher, then a little bit lower, then a little bit lower. Like it's not that it's rising or falling necessarily, but there's still movement overall.
Right.
It's like there's topography under us.
Before we go to ground or to shore, I'll make sure to set up soundings
Okay,
so they can check the depth.
perfect. All right. So yeah, and the crew on board the ship looks like they're quite happy to have something to do, like anything to do to kind of keep their
Yep.
minds off of where they are.
Every half hour.
And you guys
Let's make it every 15 minutes.
Right.
You guys disembark onto the island, and as you do, the storm is still picking up. The smell of that rotten fish smell is much stronger near this island. It's a smell so strong that it practically clings to you. You know, you have to fight back the urge to empty out your stomach contents as it hits you, just like wave after wave. There's no doubt that there is something wrong with this island in particular.
That is a shame. I really liked these boots.
But since it is 6 o'clock, we will call it there.
Dun, dun, dun.
So you guys make your way to what is literally referred to as the Reeking Vault.
Oh boy.
That doesn't sound promising.
I mean, it's got vault in the title. There might be something to loot.
What's that?
All right. But you guys have successfully made it to the Black Isles.
All right.
Within striking distance of Melodicmer. Which means that next session will quite probably finish off this particular story arc.
Good to know.
So, but yeah, so 16 sessions so far. When what I initially thought was looked like a fairly short adventure.
We're wily.
True. I'm like, let's see what happens. But I have started plotting and planning the next story arc will take place largely in the northern part of the world.
Sweet.
So
Take
Samaria.
Ragnar home.
Yep, Samaria, Nordheim, Asgard, all of that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Pack your winter clothes.
No kidding.
XP?
Gonna be time to get some new boots anyway.
Yeah. 150 XP.
Sweet.
Perfect. And then we will see everybody in a couple of weeks.
Sounds
Awesome.
good.
I've got 25.35 for my total.
That's probably pretty close. is the pesky thing with games when you spend XP. Yep. I do as well. Don is talking about. Alrighty, so we will see everybody in a couple of weeks. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. And, sorry? Yeah, we'll see you guys. You too. No, he's still gonna play the DD game. Yeah, Trevor, now that things are starting to open up, Trevor is he's kind of an extrovert and he likes like live music and stuff, so his weekends will largely be taken up with like music and concerts and that sort of thing. So yeah, so he said like he didn't want to let people down by being like unreliable. He thought it was best to just step away rather than really getting this. But yeah, this is my social life. Alright, have a great night, folks.